today we have
Dolores Jennings and Char Brunje, and they are both fellow members of the Bella Vista Garden Club, and we are also all members of the Floralia Rangers Guild Garden Club, and that's a federated garden club that studies floral arranging for flower shows. But today, Char and Dolores are going to give us some ideas about decorating for the holidays and give us some demonstrations, and they've worked up a wonderful little program here. And I think the Vista has interviewed you two about doing some decorations, and that's supposed to be in the Vista paper the first week of December, right?
Correct.
Or the end of November?
Yes.
It's okay, so watch for your Vista. There's going to be an article about the decorative arranging for Christmas and how you can take things out of your garden.
Right. Yes.
And, just make arrangements.
Right.
So we're also going to be talking about what to do in your garden for the month of December. There's still a few things we have to take care of and make sure that the gardens are taken care of over the winter. But I'm going to turn it over to you two, and you can just show your little demonstrations about decorating.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. One of the things we're going to do is to use things from our gardens while we're doing cleanup. And I like to start with a tray down in case I have to pick my arrangement up to change a tablecloth or something else. This is just a metal tray. I've had it for years, and I could have used wood or even silver. I trimmed a bush in my yard, and I saved the cuttings in order to use them as a table scape. And I usually wait until this time of the year to trim these bushes just for that reason. And I'm just, as you can see, I've just cut them off. I'm just laying them down in a random order. There's not really a right or wrong way to do this. I like to put big ones down first and small ones after. And then
the next thing we do is
put
something in the center with a candle this time. Normally I would use a glass cake plate, but today I found this piece. It was something I got at a thrift store.
Okay, wait.
I'm going to set it in the center. And then because it's scooped out, we needed something flat for the candle, so we just put a plate on the top. And then we like to use the candles that are battery operated, no fires. So we put this up at the top.
So these things, you can just find whatever's in your house.
Right, in the house or at a thrift store would be great.
Yeah.
I've also used a mixing bowl turned upside down to hold a candle, just to get it up to whatever height that you want.
Because sometimes that doesn't even show at the bottom.
No.
And everyone does have that. Now, Char picked these pine cones up.
Yes, on my morning walk. And then I painted them with some white glitter paint from a thrift store. And you can get it at a hobby store as well. You can sprinkle glitter if you wish. Sometimes it comes right in the paint. And we're going to place those around the edges to give it a little pizzazz. And of course, next we have our holly berries.
Wait, just a minute. Okay. Now, another thing that I like is, before you start those, and you can put in some
A little
balls,
glitter. A little
just
glitz.
to make some pizzazz. Now, this is a nice scape as far as if you have fancy dishes that you're going to be having. This would be a nice arrangement just like this, so that it doesn't add any different colors to your table. But we also like to add color. And part of the color, these are holly bush that happens to grow in the yard. Again, I trimmed it because I need to trim the bush at this time of the year. It's part of winter cleanup.
And you could use Nandina berries also, right?
Yes.
Oh, Nandina would be gorgeous.
Yeah, 'cause they're
they have a
nice
little
berries.
bit more of an orange color, but they definitely could. And you can use kind of as many of them as you want, putting them around the candle perhaps, like Char has started doing, and doing things like that. And if you don't like something, if you don't like the way this one went, you just pick it up, put it another way. And that's part of the beauty of doing this with things from your yard. It can be picked up to be moved. You can rearrange it. If you have a little child coming around and they play with it, it doesn't really matter because you can just turn around and have them redo it.
And another way you can use a candle would be a bowl and place your candle inside, and real cranberries, especially at this season.
Those are great to decorate with, yeah, because they've got
Just
good
put
red
them
color.
inside, around, and again, it gives it a little color. Whoops, a couple berries are popping down here. And you can add that to the top of your table too, again, giving it a little more height.
Yeah.
There. Next.
Everyone doesn't have a table that they can do that with, so I wanted to bring an artificial wreath. And I just have this one placed on a plastic charger that you buy at Walmart or any store that happens to carry chargers.
Okay, we can get.
And what we wanted to show you was how similar we can make this one as well.
And if people have allergies, they might want to use this instead of the evergreens.
Well, that's true, because I
And
have
we have our
allergies
sign.
too, and it's,
Where did the bowls go?
and sometimes if you do have the real greens in your house, and you do have people with allergies, it can be a problem. So, the,
All right, and what we wanted to show you was, just as we had a wreath in the other one, a candle. We can start with a candle in this one. Depending on the size of your thing, you may wish to do it better. Let's say you don't have a holly bush. These were bought at a craft store, and you can add these.
they give a lot of sparkle.
They do,
Yeah.
and that is very helpful.
And next, we took a little ribbon, another,
A little tassel rope.
Yes.
Yeah.
and just weave it through. It sits very nicely on the artificial wreath. And again, that will give it a little sparkle. And you're just weaving it through to add a little.
And then, if you really wanted it kind of more like the other one, just add some pine cones,
You can go the more natural way, or
Sure.
whichever way you would like. And as you can see, it doesn't take long to put together either of these. And you can pick the materials up almost anywhere that you would
well, you
like.
always have extra ornaments. It seems like I always have extra ornaments, and I'm putting them either in a bowl or, trying to figure out what to do with them.
Okay, and next we're going to be doing this arrangement. We'll take this off and move to the next item.
Now, sometimes you want a theme that's a little more Christmassy. And these are just some craft wood that have been painted slightly. And we thought we would use also craft things here that these were put on. And you might want to add something glitzy
They're really sparkly.
and have them come out and be sparkly. And you can do this on both sides, or if you have a buffet. And then if you like candles, perhaps you like one candle, and that's an off-center look with one candle, which is quite cool. Or if you like things a little more symmetrical, you might want to add a second candle. And these are tapers. You could burn these because there is nothing flammable here on your table with them, and it's not really a problem.
Okay, next we're going to use
Yeah.
the live wreath again, and
Okay, I want to remove these berries from this and show you that we had a few other ways that you could have used this wreath. If you had wanted to use something that says, this one says ho, ho, ho. This is another way to use just a plain table, keeping this very low. Perhaps you want
a religious theme.
a religious theme in your home. And again,
Just set it down. We have
You
this
might.
pretty little church.
a church in the woods.
Or you could put a nativity set on there. It'd be beautiful.
An
Definitely.
activity set would,
Yes.
Really
would be really pretty. And this is round, but you could use a square tray up here if you wanted to show it off if you had a small one.
Right.
And that's another way. And then we want to show you another way to do with greens.
We have some poinsettias, and then some decorative balls that we can put along the side.
Oh, that's a real glitzy one. That's
Yes.
really pretty.
And this
Lot of
is a very
sparkle.
new theme with the darker poinsettia colors and the darker balls.
This would
And-
take you right into New Year's, too.
Yes, it
New Year's
would.
Eve,
Yes, it
it's
would.
so
Yes.
well,
And we did
sparkle.
find a cute little sign that said Merry Christmas, and you could place that somewhere in the front of your arrangement. And
And then you could switch that out with Happy New Year.
yes, we could.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you can
So-
add balls or anything like that wherever you kind of want them on
Right,
it.
right.
Okay.
Okay, and next, we have this arrangement. It's always nice to put a little color on your tablecloth. And then this arrangement, again, the base was from a local hobby shop. We found outdoor branches that Dee cut from her crepe myrtle, and she sprayed them. And we can turn this way maybe, give it a little more.
Now, you could spray
Right.
these red, you could spray them green, you can spray
Yes.
them any color. So
Yeah.
that's the nice thing about the branches. You can make it any color you need.
And
And-
these branches can be cut any size you want for height or
Right.
depth or whatever.
We certainly have enough dead trees out in the woods that we can
Yes.
pull
Yes.
branches from,
Yes.
even so you won't affect the shape of your trees. So, and now I wanted to ask you about your greenery.
Yes.
Now, you used holly.
Yes.
But there's also the cedar and the boxwood and any other greenery.
Yes.
Now, if you put them in oasis
Yes.
with your arrangements, they will last a lot longer.
Yes, they will.
But if you just put them on the table, without oasis or without water, they will last for several days.
The holly will last a week, almost into 2.
Okay.
And that's if you're cutting it fresh off of a bush. And really, most people are trimming their hollies at this time of the year. And if you have a neighbor with holly, perhaps you would like to go over and ask them if they would mind if you had some of them. Because most of us do have to get them trimmed, and we do wait so that people can really use.
Yeah, it is
the
better to
things.
wait and not trim them in September and October, and then you'll have them for the holidays. So.
Yes.
And I've taken this arrangement out and sprayed it. You can mist it. Another thing is if you have an outdoor area screened in, you could put this outside
Right,
until
like a
you
screened-in
actually
porch.
need it.
Keep it cooler.
Keep it cooler.
The cooler you
Right.
keep it, the better. It's like being in a refrigerator, so
Right,
that would be
right.
good.
And the oasis would work really very well.
Now, when you girls worked with the Vista, so you put all these arrangements together.
Yes.
And then they took pictures of them, right?
Yes.
Okay, so we just don't know what that article's going to
No,
look like.
no,
So
we
you
don't.
just have to watch the Vista for that.
And I wanted to give people one more hint.
Mm-hmm.
Using pipe cleaners to attach your greens to your banister or any part of your table decorations, green pipe cleaners work really well, and they're soft and they don't harm anything.
Yeah, they won't scratch your banister
Exactly.
or your wood or your
And you can
metal
use them
or-
in your arrangement to hold things because they are green.
Right.
Right.
Now, the other thing, you have this dried protea,
Yes.
which is a real unusual flower, which can be used for probably any season, depending on what color you spray it. But those are wonderful dried
Yes, they are.
arrangements. Now, when we study arrangements for the flower shows, they are totally different from the
Yes.
normal arrangements in your home. But the basic rules are the same.
Yes, they are.
You have to have balance, you have to have symmetry, or if you want symmetry, and you have to have a proportion, and things have to fit together. So you wouldn't take that big tray of greenery and
No.
put little tiny ornaments, a few little tiny ones. If you use the tiny ones, you'd have to use a lot of them.
Right.
So you have to think about your proportions and your balance too. So, and you said this is going into the library?
Yes, for the December display at the library.
Oh, that'll be wonderful. We'll
Yes.
really enjoy it. But I think they're having all the baskets there now.
So it'll
for sale.
arrive a little bit
So
later.
it might be a little later.
A little
but
bit
look for
later,
this
yes.
in the library.
You just
You
leave
can
that
leave
there.
that.
We'll set it off to
Yeah.
the side
Okay.
here.
We'll do
So
that.
the
Right.
other thing we wanted to talk about, besides decorating, now, it's so important to decorate your home for the holidays, and everybody spends so much money, but this is a really good way to decorate without breaking the bank, is taking the things out of your garden and using those,
Yes,
or
they
using
are.
things you have at the house already without going out and buying more. So that's a great idea. But the things we have for gifts, we have a wonderful gift ideas for your gardening friends. In addition to gift certificates, which are always wonderful. If you can get a gift certificate for your gardening friends from a garden center, they would love that. And then I do have some samples of things you can get for your gardening friends, there's always T-shirts. Gardeners love T-shirts for some reason. When we have the Master Gardener meetings across the state, they buy so many T-shirts. They're always buying T-shirts. And so for some reason they love T-shirts. Now this one has a bluebird on it because Bella Vista is the bluebird capital of the United States. So I love to have bluebirds on things because it really shows Bella Vista. And these can be, you know, children's size for grandchildren to help you in the garden, or your size. If you get them extra size, they're really easy to work with in the garden. The other thing that's new that I haven't seen except lately is outdoor art. They're coming up with these outdoor paintings or pictures that you can hang outside. It's actually like a plastic, and it will weather outside. This would be beautiful hanging, you know, on your wall of your deck, you know,
Right.
house,
Yes.
on the brick, or out there on your porch, anywhere that it has any weathering.
And
But
if you
they're-
didn't have some place to hang it, you can put it on an easel.
Yes, you could.
An easel
Yeah.
would work.
Oh,
and
yeah.
you could stand it
And stand it
even
up on a table.
Yes.
And
Yeah.
a smaller one could even be the center of a wreath on your door.
Oh, it could
Yes.
be, yes, it could be. Now, this is also a wonderful idea for gardeners for Christmas or any time, a gift. This is a moisture meter, and I talk about this a lot in the show. It's very important to check the moisture in your plants. Sometimes you'll have those hydrangeas that'll be really wilty in the summer, and you think they need water, and you go out, and if you check them, they don't need water. They just get dry from the heat,
From the
and they
heat.
droop. And then if you wait till evening, they'll pop back up again. And you can kill those hydrangeas with too much water, so it's really important to use a water meter. And I use this in the house too,
I do too.
for my
Very-
house plants.
Yes.
Because you know it's drier sometimes in the winter, and they need more water.
Especially the tropical plants.
Oh yeah.
Really
so
need
this is a great,
because
great
it's so
gift.
hard to tell.
I haven't found them at too many of the box stores lately, but I have found them at Tractor Supply.
Mm-hmm.
You can always get them online, but they're wonderful gifts. The other thing is these cute little, I'll get this centered here, watering vessels for your potted plants. This has a little hole in it. You put the water in. It seeps through the terracotta, and it waters your plants and kind of monitors the water in your plants. But these are really sparkly. I have one out on my deck, and the sun hits it and it just sparkles. So these will help, you know, maintain the water in your house plants, and they're just fun
They
little
really are.
things.
Thank you.
This is a little bee catcher. Now this is really an old-fashioned gift. They used these years and years ago on the farms and, you know, everywhere. So you put some sugar water, I think they tell you what to put in there.
Right, the directions
The
are right on
directions
there.
are right on here. And you put the sugar water in there and leave the cork off. Then the bees get in there and they can't get out. So it really traps all those nasty bees that are flying around.
And these are nice to hang on a gardening hook.
Right. Now, I wouldn't leave that out all the time because
No.
bees are good. But when you have company coming or you're going to be sitting on your deck for a while and you don't want to be bothered by the bees, this is good. But I don't like to kill too many bees.
No,
but,
no.
You know,
And
just
going
when I
along
need
with bugs.
to. And bugs. They also have these wonderful little bug catchers. You can catch the fireflies at night, the little
Yes.
lightning bugs. They have little holes in the top. But inside here is a little shirt, a T-shirt for the kids, and I think it glows in the dark.
Oh, yes.
So there's
My
so many
grandson
cute little
got one
things.
of these, yes.
They're just so cute.
And they like to wear them as a nightshirt.
oh yeah,
And they light up. You put your flashlight next to it.
yeah.
And
they'll
it
just
lights
glow in the
up.
dark.
And then they turn off the lights and it glows in the dark.
they're
And this one
great.
is full of little spiders, which
Yeah.
the children love.
Kids love bugs for
Yes, they
some
do.
reason.
Yes, they
And
do.
it's great that they love bugs because most bugs are good bugs. So
That's true.
The other thing is the note cards. There's so many different note cards with the garden theme, you know, flowers. This one has snowflakes. This has a little pink flamingo love pink flamingos.
I do too.
But note cards are always great gifts for gardener friends,
little
because we
snowflake.
like to send little notes to our gardening friends.
Right. This one even says, "Let it snow."
Yeah, that's a good
Yeah.
one for Christmas.
For the holidays.
And then if you want to make a package or a little gift for a gardening friend, there's a lot of things you can just put in. If you just get a decorative pot that you like and think that it would go in their home or in their garden, and then you could put your little ornament in there. There's these wonderful gloves that are just so great for the garden. They're nitrile gloves. These are just great for gardeners. We all love them.
Well, one of the things is that they keep your hands fairly dry, particularly when
and
it's wet.
clean, yeah.
And when I come in from gardening, I go to the sink and I put them back on, and then I wash the gloves with my hand soap, and they wash right off.
like
and
washing
then I
your
just
hands.
clip them on a hanger.
And you
to
can
dry.
also put them in the wash machine. They'll wash in the wash machine.
That's great.
I have a problem going through them with my nails, making holes, and I have found that paint that is for dipping tools,
Yes.
I dip my fingers into that paint, and then I fill those little holes up, and I can use the gloves a little longer.
You can reuse them.
Oh,
Great.
very
idea.
good. That's
Great
a wonderful
suggestion.
tip.
Yes.
Now the other thing is the Friskers clippers, or any of your garden clippers. These are always a great thing to give to gardeners because we lose them all the time.
Yes, we do.
Or can't
But
find
these
them.
do have the orange, so you might be
And
able
you
to
can
find them.
find them. The other good thing about Friskers is they are so guaranteed. If you have a problem with your Friskas, you can let the company know. Like if this little button would fall off, the lock button, or something would chip. If you take a picture of it and you email it to them, they will send you a new one. They'll replace it. They
That's
really
wonderful.
stand
Interesting to
behind their
know.
products. They're great products. They're easy to use, and it's a good name. Now there are other names that are, other brands that are just as good. Just have to check, but make sure you get a good clippers that's going to last and not just last 1 year.
And these do stay sharp.
And they do stay sharp.
And you don't have to sharpen them as often.
Right, they do. And you be sure to clean them though. This is the thing we talked about last month, is at the end of the year, make sure they're cleaned off and they're oiled a little bit for the season next year. So
When you say oil, you can just use salad oil.
Oh yeah, or DW40 I've used, or any kind of oil. And the like I said, the other thing that gardeners love is those gift certificates to different garden centers because they're just wonderful.
And then they can buy whatever plant
And
that
they
they
can
would
get
like,
whatever
or
they like.
shrub,
Right.
or even
you
add
know,
it to a tree.
Trees, gloves, anything
Any
they
of
need,
the- any of
so they
these.
can add that.
So what are some of the things that we can do now in our gardens?
In December, there's a lot to do in December inside with your houseplants, but your annuals and your herbs, you have to monitor your water on your pansies. Those are considered annuals, but monitor your water on your pansies, and they're going to droop and look bad then when it's really cold, and then it warms up a little bit and they just pop back up again.
Right.
So
And I take my scissors and I clip the deadhead.
yeah, deadhead them, and then they'll bloom again.
Yeah, a lot of people don't realize that in the northern part of the United States, you do not plant pansies until spring. But
Right,
here, we
here.
plant them at this time of the year, and they will last until spring, until
They
something
will.
else.
And your other things they're promoting is snapdragons over the winter.
Yes.
If
Oh,
we
I
have
was
a mild
surprised.
winter, they're saying that snapdragons can make it
Yes,
through
That'll
the
be an
winter.
interesting thing.
And that
for me
has
to try.
another texture and a little more color.
Right.
I like those.
And the herbs, you have to make sure your herbs don't dry out, your rosemary and your herbs that are going to come back, your thyme. So,
Also, if you haven't put bulbs in the ground yet, you can still do that at this time.
Right.
All spring flowering bulbs like daffodils and tulips and things of that nature
The
that
hyacinths,
And if you want them to bloom early for you, put them in the ground this
Yeah.
month and mulch to protect them from the freeze and thaw cycles that we
Right.
do have.
I've already planted bulbs in January here in Bella Vista if I find them in the shed and I forgot to plant them. But, just get them in the ground. In December is a very good month to plant
And
those.
for your roses, after a few freezes, mulch those for winter,
Yeah.
and they'll pop right back. in
And
the
they'll
spring.
keep them from you know,
The hard freezes.
hard freezes. And I have taken chicken wire and put it around my rose bushes and then put leaves in there, and that really insulates
Keeps
them,
everything together.
keeps them insulated. And lawns, you have to be sure to keep the grass, your leaves off the lawns. They're going to smother it, even if it's winter, but just keep the leaves off the lawn. You should have mowed it to about 2 or 3 inches for the last mowing. And which if you walk on frozen grass, it will probably kill it, So don't try to walk on your lawns too much. So use the sidewalks and paths until spring. Okay. So.
And also, you want to make sure that any trees and shrubs, particularly if they were new this year, have enough moisture to last over the winter. It's not something you would do often, but if we get warm spells, you do need to check them for moisture.
Oh yeah, because especially the new ones you just planted, because they have to get established.
Right.
Right.
And for the tropicals and the house plants, they still need water, as you did in the summer, but not quite as much, and that monitor would be an excellent thing to use. Watch for any pests or diseases, and then make sure you treat it promptly. And spray with insecticide soap if you need to. And those poinsettias need a lot of moisture and light. You have to make sure that they have the light if they're going to stay beautiful. And keep them out of the drafts and away from the registers, which I made the mistake of doing one time. Live Christmas trees really need water, and check those daily. Sometimes they really dry out fast, especially if the heat's been on a lot. And recycle the cut trees for fish habitat and wildlife habitat.
Well, the poinsettias are coming up with so many colors now.
Yes.
And if you go to these box stores, you find so many colors of poinsettias that are just so unusual, orange and purple, and then they put sparkle on them, but there's
glitter.
just so many different poinsettias now. So
And those
they're-
will continue growing all year. You don't
Yeah.
have to get rid of these just because the Christmas season is over.
No, and I've also already taken them and, kept them through the season and in the spring and planted them outside.
And they make beautiful shrubs, don't
They do. The greenery is beautiful now. I can't get them to go back to the, the red blooms or
Right,
the,
they don't bloom.
they don't
But they get
show the
nice
color
and
again.
full.
But they do make a nice little annual plant in your garden. So you don't have to just throw them away. So,
keep growing.
and the perennials, I don't have any mums showing any color yet. Still, because we've had some cold spells. This is a little bit colder October than we've had before in November. It's been a little colder, so there's not too many mum colors showing. But if some people trim their mums and other people just leave them because sometimes the birds will, eat the seeds or whatever. And I don't trim too much of my perennials in the winter. I just leave the birds, get what they want from them. And be sure to feed your birds, because we have to feed the birds over the winter. The colder it gets, the more protein they need, and it keeps them warmer when they eat all that protein. So I use a lot of suet, in the winter. But be sure and monitor your bird feeders, and it's great to just sit there and watch those birds play.
Yes.
It's just a great winter thing to look out the window and,
Yes,
and
it
see
is.
the, as you see the snow and you see the beautiful cardinals against that snow. It's just beautiful.
And the other thing to do for the birds is if you have a bird bath, keep it filled, but you're going to have to defrost the water on occasion.
Well, they have those heaters you can put in the bird bath.
Yes, you can.
And then there's one I saw you can take a light bulb and just put that under a plastic, somehow they had a little box with a light bulb in it, and then a plastic bowl on top, and the heat from that light bulb kept that water from freezing.
That's a great idea.
It
I
was
boil some water in my tea kettle, and then I add some water to the bird
Oh,
bath.
yeah.
And that
defrosts it.
defrosts it, but it
Yeah.
still is cold water.
And you
because
have to
of
watch
this.
what you put the water in, because if it freezes in that container, it might crack it.
It will crack.
So you have to
Right.
just keep, just kind of monitor it. You may want to just bring your little water feature in for the night when it gets real cold, and then when in the daytime when it's
it
a little
back.
bit warmer, put it outside. So just kind of monitor that. Now, if you have any other questions about gardening in December, there's wonderful websites. The Benton County Master Gardeners has a great website with a lot of information. It's bentoncountygardening.org, and you can sit there on your computer and just learn all kinds of things about gardening over the winter. And the next meeting of the Bella Vista Garden Club will be in January. It'll be January 22nd. It's always the fourth Wednesday of the month. and we'll be meeting in January, and we always welcome guests to come. And we have wonderful speakers and meetings and a wonderful little lunch. And that's at the Lutheran Church, the United Lutheran Church on Cooper Road. And we start at 11, and then we have lunch around 12. And then they have a program, so it's great to get together with gardening friends. And they have a wonderful website too, and BellaVistaGardenClub.com. It's real easy to get on, it's easy to maneuver. We have a lot of information about gardening on that website. And we're going to try to get some of the pictures that from the Vista, you know, when we get that Vista paper, and maybe get some of those pictures posted on our website. So it gives, you know, they can go to the website anytime and check on decorating. So I want to thank you both for coming today. I really enjoyed this.
It was enjoyable.
You girls are so talented. You have so much talent to put things together and show people what to do and make it look easy. And it really is.
But it is easy.
And we enjoy it.
Yeah,
Yes.
we do. We do.
And it's really important, you know, to make your house look festive for the season. It really is. A lot of people don't put up a lot of trees anymore because that's such a hassle for, you know, to get that tree out of the attic or whatever.
Right. But
And
a
it
simple
gets harder as you get
arrangement.
older, but these arrangements could be all through the house, in your bathrooms, in your
inexpensive.
bedrooms, everywhere.
Inexpensive.
So thank you again.
Oh, you're welcome.
And I hope you've enjoyed the show. And until we meet again next month, and we're going to be going into a new season, our new year next year, starting in January, and we're hoping to have a lot of interesting programs during the year. And if you have any ideas that you would think we could cover for the programs, just send us an email. It's on our website, BellaVistaGardenclub.com. And you can email us through that email that shows there, and we'll try to get those subjects covered. So we're just trying to get information out that you need. So until then, we hope to see you next month.